Hey guys, Kyle here. So, just before the show starts, I wanted to mention our Patreon. You can pay us $1 a month as a thank you, as a tip. You can pay $2 a month to get access to one of our bonus content shows, episodes 2 days early, and a secret Discord chat where all of our Patreon donors get to go and hang out and talk with us directly. Then there's a $5 tier that you can donate to get access to a whole bunch more content. We have multiple bonus episodes on there, so please check it out. Patreon.com/itgetsweird. We don't advertise, we don't make money, so check it out and throw some money if you think that would be cool. Thanks.
Welcome to It Gets Weird, our comedy show where we explore the unusual, the unbelievable, and the unexplained to try to make your world a little weirder. I'm Niall.
And I'm Kyle. And this week, I have been...
Couldn't even make it through a sentence.
I couldn't make it through a single sentence. I kind of had some thoughts swirling around in my brain, and if you could picture the gif of Zach Galifianakis, where he's like seeing all the math fly in front of him, but then you have to imagine that the lovely face of Jules just parts all of that math and completely disrupts your train of thought. We have Jules on the show. I kind of looked over. Here's the thing. One of the things that I do when I talk to my friends, and I know I have to riff, maybe it's for a podcast. It usually isn't. I look sometimes for help. And I very suddenly realized that my brain had deflated, and I looked to Jules for help, and there was just no way to actually communicate that over a Zoom call. So Jules, I'm going to hand this week's bit off to you. This is all you. I know you got something loaded in the chamber. Feel free.
I imagine none of us work in comedy, but I imagine that our group of friends is a lot like being in a comedy writer's room.
Yeah. Yes.
In a big city like New York or LA.
Yeah.
And we got to get the next episode out, and we're all trying to come up with a good bit for the episode.
Yeah.
And I think I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes you thought you had something funny.
Yeah.
And you panic halfway through.
Yes.
And then you try to volley it onto another person who hopefully will distract from your failure, your utter failure.
Yeah, it's dismal if you can't get that person to sort of act as that distraction for you. Again, this is all very similar to, let's say, the writer room of SNL.
I would say we are all equally as competitive with each other as the people on SNL are. It's a toxic work environment to be friends with us.
Whenever Kyle pitches something for the podcast, I immediately just go, "That's a really fucking stupid idea. I don't know why you would even say that." And then from there we can kind of have a groundwork to figure out if it's worth pursuing or not. But like, you got to start by making sure Lauren sees you shitting on everyone else so that your ideas are better.
For real, don't you find it so fucked up? I don't know how common of an experience this is for you two, but I actually like I fuck with SNL, and whenever you hear older cast members from like back in the day talk about it, it's like you wouldn't laugh at other people's sketches at table read.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how fucking abysmal that is? To be like, you're trying to do a table read of a sketch comedy show and decide what should be on the show, and the other people who wrote it with you are like no-selling all your shit and acting like it sucks ass because it's that competitive that you can only laugh at your own sketch.
Yeah.
Like, I think like, how horrible, what a horrible environment to try to create comedy in. But guess what? It was funny.
What do you think is worse? The silent treatment, like just no selling at a table read, or negative feedback? Because frankly, I think it can go either way depending on context. For instance, when I pitch Niall an idea for the podcast every single day, and every single day Niall sends back the same message, which is, "This sucks shit, don't send this to me." And we go back and forth like this for years. How'd you get this number? But mostly it's the thing sucking shit.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know, that just sort of like, it's tough.
Every once in a while, he'll say, "This one was good." And you'll go, "Really?" And he'll go, "No, it sucks shit."
You idiot.
Get this the fuck away from
Are you
me.
fucking kidding? Have you not paid attention to this specific text chain for the last 10 years?
Well, I honestly, to save some time, I've started just replying where I just put a period and reply to the message
Yeah.
from
Niall's got a
further up
macro.
in the conversation.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't have to retype it every day, you know?
You have like an out of office thing for Kyle
Yeah.
that automatically just sends that sucks shit.
I'm sorry. I'm not at the office to take funny submissions for the podcast right now. But I can tell you it fucking sucks.
And then I put a link to what I say is a Google Drive of notes on the idea, and it actually just goes to Lemon Party.
Yep.
All of this laughter and conversation is ruining the podcast.
I go to lemonparty.com every day of my life.
I go to goats.ex.
Yeah.
The Goat Man, hell yeah. There's a lot of really good websites in that vein.
Meat Spin.
And that's sort of a deep well of comedy that, maybe we could start looking at that. And Niall, I know what you're going to say before you say it. We can talk off mic about that particular submission. I don't know. I'm Kyle. Did I say that I'm Kyle? I'm Kyle. I'm one of the co-hosts of the podcast that you're listening to. And we have guest Jules, wife of the show.
You sneakily introduced me just by addressing me earlier.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's something that I've been trying to do when you come on nowadays because, as people know by now, you will never introduce yourself. This is just one of the unwritten rules.
Kyle, when you were away, I admitted what my name was.
Now
this proves that you don't listen to when I'm on.
See what this I think I did listen. And just didn't.
Oh, it proves you have a dog shit memory.
Well, yeah, that one
which
we
knew.
Because you also, I always check in, and it's okay. I guess this could have been a good guess.
You listened to the first 3 minutes to hear us talking about you shitting your pants. I
came away understanding your opinions on the Halloween film and that you were looking to get into checking out more Rob Zombie, just have a more complete picture of the man's filmography, which, as I understand now, you're still not impressed.
By the end of the second one, I was like, nobody needs to hear what this guy has to say.
Yeah,
and
it was big fuck this guy.
I did hear, and here's proof that I went through the show. I mean, I guess you could say, oh, okay, you listened to the first 3 minutes and then skip to the last 3, which you could accuse me of that.
He did the Germa method of watching a movie.
You watch 3 minutes, skip 5 minutes, watch 5 minutes, skip 15, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We
Just
watched
so
a
much
movie
effort.
that way and it worked.
Oh my god,
It actually worked. It worked.
Now the movie was not good. I'm not sure it would work on
We watched, but the point was to do it with dog shit movies that you don't want to watch.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it worked. Anyway, go on.
Well, I also got your part about me needing to have a more positive outlook on promoting. To me,
I give good advice.
I appreciate it. I have in my mind a particular bit where it's ironic that I'm like, oh, this actually sucks, but the truth is we're awesome. I don't know. It's a weird whole thing. Anyways,
it's called 2010's Internet.
I guess so.
Yeah, I get it.
So Jules is back.
Jules in the house.
Do you have anything to fucking say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. Niall, what the hell are we getting into this week?
Oh, today, Kyle, I wanted to take you and give you a Jules. That really popped, Jules.
You guys are tickling me today.
I decided to take you back home, and I want to talk about a place in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh.
And I'm curious if
back to your old stomping ground.
Now, this may confuse listeners because we do talk about Columbus, Indiana as our stomping grounds, and you have to say Indiana after Columbus because people will think about Columbus, Ohio.
That's right? Because one of those is a real place and the other one is not.
Did I say? I thought I said Cleveland.
You said Cleveland.
Okay.
He's saying he has a I know exactly where he's going with this.
But Cleveland. That's where I was actually born and spent the first 6 years of my life. Just to be clear, and all the sort of inherent like ontological evil of Cleveland did get permanently
You were
woven
born
into
in
my
it.
being.
Yeah. And that's also where you peaked, and your whole life has been downhill from.
Yep, 6 years
From
old.
6.
I haven't done better than that.
It's been downhill
So
since 6.
it's been downhill since 6.
It's a long hill.
Yep. Right
Big
into the
peak.
grave.
So, Ohio.
Yeah.
Home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, this
Cleveland
one,
rocks, etc.
it also is home to a place called Franklin Castle.
Hmm.
Are you aware of this location?
Oh man, no, I don't think so. Actually,
Nathan Fillion, right?
Yeah. Yeah. His name is his name Frank? No, Frank Castle.
Frank
is fucking
Castle's
Punisher.
the Punisher, right?
Yeah.
Then
But
what
he
are-
is Castle on the show Castle. Nathan
I
Fillion.
forgot there was a show called Cat. It's sort of like Bones, where the
Yeah,
character
except
is named.
he's a mystery writer, and
Okay.
that's why he can solve crimes.
You got Bones starring Bones and Castle
Mm-hmm.
starring Castle, and these are two shows. And Angel starring Angel.
And in this episode, we do find Bones in this castle, so it's kind of a
Interesting.
crossover episode. If
So
you
it
think
Star
gets
about
Trek?
sexual.
Yeah. There's got to be an AO3 Bones in Castle, and it's like a
Ooh,
crossover
true.
fucking.
Fork spotted in kitchen. I don't know what.
We're all a little free associating today, and it's working out well.
It's a good night.
So, the Franklin Castle is it's kind of like a big mansion. It's like it looks kind of like a castle, but it is called Franklin Castle. That is like the name of the house. The way that like. You know the way that like once you put enough money into a house, you can name it, and people actually have to like do that. It's called the Franklin Castle. I mean, how else do you want to? Is it a size requirement? Like, you know?
Oh, you know what? Sorry.
Today I made $1 above the amount that I have to name my house now. God damn it. They're going to make me do it because I made too much money.
I just looked this place up. I have seen it before.
Yeah.
In your dreams?
In my dreams, in those restless dreams, I see that place. That I've been to this place. This is where my dead wife summoned me, and I had to face all the repressed horrors of my life.
Yeah, that's pretty par
New
for the
from
course,
A24 this year.
actually. Yeah. But okay.
The ghost word was generational trauma.
Not
Wow,
again. It
fuck.
keeps happening through the generations. That's why they call it generational trauma.
Generational. Oh my god.
I like Hereditary.
Me too.
Yeah. So, this is kind of like Hereditary in that it was not really. So the Franklin Castle was built by a family of German immigrants called the Tiedemans. Specifically, their head Hans Tiedemann is the guy that was kind of started it. So it is kind of castle-like. It's got some turrets. It's all big red brick. And it was built in like the 1880s. So it's that level of like castle at the time, you know, like it's a lot of stonework, a lot of stuff that would be crazy expensive to do today. But this place, it has just like a really wild ass history, and it's also, some people will say it's the most haunted place in Ohio. I always take any claim like that with like a massive grain of salt, because I feel like any place that has like any ghosts whatsoever, they'll be like, it's the most haunted place in wherever, and there's no governing body for that claim.
It's
you
like
know?
the best cup of coffee.
Exactly. It's advertising.
Every notable haunted place is the most haunted place in the state or whatever. There's a number of cool buildings, old buildings that kind of look like. There's another couple buildings that I recall seeing in Cleveland, but I just had a memory resurface where there is a house, like a really big, a house owned by some wealthy person, that we used to drive by to get to my grandparents' place. And it was a big, gaudy, kind of weird, lots of different colors and things happening to it. And my parents always called it the head cheese house.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks really weird and like a mishmash of things thrown together. And it's just huge, and clearly somebody with a lot of money owns it. And I remember having like a realization as a kid of like, if I had the money to own this, I wouldn't let my house look like this. It looks fucked up.
Look, they just went for maximalism, you know?
I guess it doesn't look good, and I have no idea if it's still there. Because my grandparents, they don't live in that area anymore, but
sure.
Well, they don't live, unfortunately. That's just the truth. Sadly,
it's true, but you don't have to say it.
I guess that's true. Well, the thing is, I realized that the way I said it made people at home are going to be like, "Oh, okay, his grandparents are still around." Unfortunately,
yeah, they moved.
Unfortunately, they are not. But they, that place. I'm curious if it's still there. I might have to check it out if I'm ever in Cleveland again for family business. I don't know.
If you know where it is, go on a little Google Maps.
Oh, true. I could probably figure that out and see if I could take some pictures. Also, I just remembered. Speaking of like hometown hauntings, did we ever talk about Crump Theater on the podcast?
Not in any way about like it being haunted. I think we've talked about it as like a place of interest in our local town. But
hey, if you like haunted locations, go on Google right now and look up Columbus, Indiana Crump Theater. That place gives extremely haunted energy. And I remember I was there for helping with a production when I was in middle school with some friends, and the place is so old, and I just remember,
old is it?
I don't, Niall, how old is it? Do you know? I don't know.
I honestly don't.
Over 100 years old.
Yeah, it's like it's a very old timey theater with a big marquee and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's
well,
great.
I just remember being in there and hearing noises and things and just being like, oh, okay, yeah, there's ghosts here. This is a very haunted place, and it does get talked about as a haunted location. Anyways,
okay.
Big digression. Back to you, Niall.
That's where I saw Star Wars for the first time.
Really?
Was in the Crump Theater. Yep, they did. They put out. My dad took me to go see them with my brother, and it was the special edition ones where like, the first time they did a special edition
when they re-released it, when he added all the stuff.
But like not when they added a bunch of the CGI. It's when like they added like I remember there specifically was a take where Han Solo where he calls Leia by Carrie in the film. Like they put in like almost like kind of goofy alternate takes.
What the fuck?
I swear this is a thing that happened. I have to look into this.
I've never heard of that.
It's
weird.
It was the
theatrical re-release where they put in like
version.
alternate takes of things, including one where Harrison Ford is called Carrie by her real name.
Are you sure you didn't have the flu?
I'm gonna have to look this up later because as I was saying, I have not told that story in like years, and as I was saying it, I was like, this doesn't sound real, but I swear I'm gonna look into it.
I didn't get to see Star Wars there, but I saw indie horror movies there. I've been to like a couple horror events that they hold there. It's a great atmosphere for that. Sure. And I remember I got to meet like a somebody who worked on props for Friday the 13th, and would refer to, I think I have a picture of myself with this guy somewhere. I'm forgetting his name, which is terrible, but he was an older gentleman, and his thing at his booth said that he was Jason's daddy. So it was a pretty cool event.
Hell yeah.
All right. Okay. So the Franklin Castle. So Tiedemann made his fortune as a wholesale grocer, and then he actually was a co-founder of the Union Banking and Savings Company that led to him having enough money to build this massive ass house. So it's on Cleveland's Franklin Boulevard. and it ended up being a 4-story, 20-room mansion that he dubbed Franklin Castle. Now, they moved in January of 1881, and very soon after, his 15-year-old daughter, Emma, died. And this was not the last person that would die in this chain. The initial part of this story is people believe that this house was like cursed or something, or that he was cursed because, like, not to jump too far ahead, but most of his family dies after they move into this house. But then there's like all these other different stories that, like, we're going to get into it. There's a bunch of different competing ideas of who this man was, and they get progressively weirder as you move along. So, there are even rumors that his daughter Emma didn't actually die of diabetes, which was the real cause of her death, but there are reports and rumors that she was found hanging from the rafters in the attic of the Franklin Castle, either murdered or suicide.
Classic haunted house type shit.
Yes. And so there are people that will report seeing that, you know?
She was hanging, but they did make the determination that the diabetes killed her before the hanging could.
Yeah, it was a real neck and neck there for a second.
Yeah. You know, I whenever I hear about like dying of diabetes back in the 1880s, I just think to myself, holy shit, we have it so much better.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. It's like we can actually treat that. Like, obviously the conditions for treating it are really fucked up right now, but like by comparison, it is good that we can actually treat that, because back in the day it's sometimes you would just have a disease that's like, yeah, sorry. Go get some fresh air and sunshine and you'll probably die.
Yeah, I'm going to write you a prescription to go to the shore to pass away.
Yeah, we're going to move you to a more temperate climate.
Yeah, I remember that was the kind of thing that you would actually... I can't remember what story, but I remember reading a story that I think had something to do with the haunting, where they were like, the doctor's official prescription was like, move to this location for your tuberculosis.
Yeah. It's wild to get a prescription that just says move, you
Go
know?
outside. Touch grass.
So, this was the beginning of a chain of events, such as Hans Tiedeman's mother, Webbeke, soon died also. Now, I believe that one was just because she was older, you know, like that was, she died basically of natural causes. But then...
I think it was like in Life of Brian. Her name's Webbeke.
I'm sorry, Webbeke. It just makes me picture an anthropomorphic spider lady.
Yeah, I mean it's Wiebeka. So I assume it's Webbeke or Webbeke, but it's okay. There's no way of knowing. Because I definitely couldn't have found a video.
What am I gonna do? Call her?
Yeah, she's dead. I can't do it.
A hot minute.
Yeah. So then, so 5 years after they move in, between 1886 and 1888, Tiedemann and his wife buried 3 more children who do not have official causes of death listed.
What?
So this is one of those things that also makes it, people have a lot more, weird, mysterious stuff about it. But I'm assuming it's just because, like, they didn't do, like, postmortems on them or something.
There was no, there wasn't, a journal that they found by Hans that was like, I love killing my kids, I love to kill children, nothing like that?
Some people, okay, not to jump too far ahead, but there's, a whole alternate theory that he was, an H.H. Holmes-esque figure, and he built this as a murder house.
Oh, God.
So, you are
no
thinking...
No spoilers, I just started reading Devil in the White City.
Yeah, sorry.
He kills people in there?
Jules, I'm afraid so.
Fuck!
That's what people think, but also...
I'm at the part of the book where they just keep saying how handsome he is.
Oh, okay. Well, they'll keep that up throughout the whole book, as, the blood really brings out his eyes,
Yeah.
So yeah, when you have over the course of 2 years, he lost 3 children of various illnesses or whatever in a way that they don't have official causes of death. So that leads people to make a lot of assumptions as well. The rumors went even further when his wife died then in 1895. Now, she died of liver failure, so yet again, not exactly traceable to him in any way. I don't, to be clear, I don't think this guy murdered anybody. I think he just had a lot of tragedies. But there are people that have, there are a lot of conspiracy theories about this man out there that he was just like bringing people into his house to murder them. And there are secret passageways and secret rooms in the house.
But these all sound like the kind of stories where it's like when you live up the block from a weird old house.
Exactly.
And you're like, the guy in there killed his kids. You just do it. It's a scary story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is hard not to like think of it like when you have this many deaths in this short of a span time and it's all family, it is hard not to either think of it as cursed if you're inclined to believe that way or as a murder house.
Yeah. So there were a couple other things. Like, people then started to kind of embellish rumors on this thing to the point where they started adding other deaths in the house, such as a niece that was found hung in a secret tunnel beneath the castle, a mistress of Hans who was found strangled, and then a servant girl who Hans was also having an affair with was also stated to be murdered in there. So, like, that, and yet again, no evidence of these things happening whatsoever, but the rumors persisted.
Great stories, though.
Rumor mill, yeah.
So, like, at this point, his body count's at, like, 8. And to top it all off, pretty soon after the death of his wife, he married a much younger woman and, like, moved away. So there's, like...
That part's true, right? Is what you're saying?
That part is true.
Okay.
Yeah, after his wife died, he then married a much younger woman and sold the house and moved. So, like, it's... Now, you can see that as him trying to move on from a very hard time in his life where he lost his entire family.
Yeah, I think with that much trauma, he deserves a little midlife crisis.
Yeah, but people, like, most of the sources that I found, it's really funny that they all are like, pretty soon after his wife died, he married a much younger, like, everyone throws just a little bit at him of, like, shit at him for doing that, and it's pretty funny to read.
You could see that level of tragedy leading to a midlife crisis, and at the time, there was no way to purchase a motorcycle.
Yeah. He was trying to be a rebel without a cause, but they didn't, he couldn't yet. At best, he could be on a penny farthing, you know?
Which would have been maybe a good
tricked out penny farthing.
A tricked out penny farthing could have been nice.
He's got a second seat on the back so that he can put his hot young wife on it.
That's
you know?
right.
Yeah. Now,
imagine trying to sit on the handlebars. Somebody says, "Hop up here."
Imagine wearing a full greaser leather outfit on a penny farthing.
Imagine it.
Imagine the ending of E.T., but with a penny farthing.
That would be good too. You can do so much with a penny farthing. You can do
so much with your imagination. It's so great.
You can think of anything.
Much like people did to this man. Everyone was like, "Oh no, you murdered another person. You cut me off in traffic. You murdered someone else."
Can I just ask you something?
Yeah.
How are we pronouncing his name?
Tiedemann.
Hans.
First name.
Hans.
You said Hans a couple times.
Did I?
Yes.
Hans in France.
So I'm just letting you know. If you want to, I don't know if you want to edit out me asking.
No, we'll leave it in. This is all good tent.
It's live. Fuck it.
So, Tiedemann did sell the house to another German family named Muehlhauser, who became the next tenants of the place. And then people will try to tie this to the curse of the house, but he died 13 years later of a stroke while walking in the park, and that's like the least cursed death you can think of. You know, like I don't really get the. I don't know how old he was, but it was like turn of the century.
I was gonna say if it's like 17 years old, then I have some questions maybe.
No, I think he was at least in his like 50s. Like
okay.
He had his chance.
Yeah. So this begins kind of a kind of a weird run of history of the house, because I want to go down to here. So there's after the Muehlhausen stuff, the house was literally sold to the Nazi Party in America, and was used. It was sold to the German Socialist Party in 1913, and it was used as a place for parties, meetings, and legitimately used to like spy, like of like German people to like spy during World War I.
Okay, this is a cursed house.
Yeah. Now, there also are some, like, bald-faced lies about what happened in it during that time. Like, there's people that claim that there was, like, a skirmish in the basement of this house that involved people firing machine guns and killing 20 people. That never happened. But people also cite that when they talk about the ghosts and say that there's, like, ghosts of, like, soldiers and machine gun fire in the basement. And that is, as far as I can tell, did not happen in any real way, shape, or form.
Sounds cool though.
And they also stated that people will hear that a German shortwave radio would be heard in the attic of the place because that was used for spycraft and stuff. You know, that's a ghost thing, sure.
A ghost
if you want,
numbers station?
Basically, yeah.
That's kind of sick.
But yeah, then there were even...
I heard there was also a German new wave duo in the attic.
It's true. Autobahn was hanging out up there. They're nihilists. So after the German Socialist Party had it, it was then used for bootlegging during Prohibition. Where they dug a carriageway out of the basement of the castle up to Lake Erie, so they could like bring in liquor, and there was like legitimately a whiskey still found in the house like 50 years later that was tied to this era. So it became like a big, so it was sold to a German singing society called Bildungsverein Eintracht at this point. And it was used for bootlegging during Prohibition.
Wait,
they distilled liquor.
Any idea what that name translates to?
I do not know.
Okay.
I don't, unfortunately.
There's no way to find out.
There's no way to know.
There isn't.
So.
We don't Google on this podcast.
Yeah.
No. You only know things if you can read them in a big dusty book that a librarian has to help you get down off the shelf. Mm-hmm. And that she brings you a special pair of gloves to wear.
It's true. And they're all those books that have like the weird bend where like it will lay. You ever seen people open like a big old dictionary that has like a lay flat cover thing? Yeah, it's one of those.
You know, like it's or those really big books at a library where you have to have a wooden stick to turn the pages.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. This is why.
So that's where all that's why this podcast is hard work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work because everything is sourced back to those.
You've been known to use some microfiche time and time again.
It's true. We do love a microfiche in this podcast. So the next kind of era of this house, it wasn't, not a lot interesting happened until the 1960s. And in the 1960s, it was sold to the Romano family. And this is when the reports...
Deborah!
Damn it!
Exactly. I wish I remembered any other character name on that show.
There's Ray's dad and Ray's mom.
Yep.
And they're always at each other's fucking throats for over one thing or another.
Well, because that's just how marriage is.
Yeah, yes. See, this is something that the late 90s, early 2000s taught me to expect, which is that marriage is a sort of union of like a half-hearted union where you kind of hate each other, but like sometimes you fuck each other. And sometimes you gotta be like Ray Romano.
Well, when you have sex, it's your wife doing you a favor.
Yeah,
right.
And it's
and
she transactional.
She doesn't want to do it, but she'll do it if it's your birthday or if you did something nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And nobody was a better exemplar of this dynamic than Ray Romano in Everybody Loves Raymond. So.
Well, I think Tim Allen might be.
Yeah, Tim Allen is kind of the archetypical.
More.
Did that happen in that show? Where he was
Home
just
Improvement?
like,
oh yeah.
So on the one hand, we've got Ray Romano who's like, Deborah, I want to have sex, and she's like, no, Ray, not now, because you ate too big a sandwich, and now we don't have the meat for dinner. And then on the other hand, you've got the other guy where Tim Allen's just like, oh, my wife, let's have sex. Oh, and she's like, no, you're so annoying with the noise.
You're always hammering in the garage.
You're always hammering in the fucking garage. That's because you won't
let me hammer in the bedroom.
Whoa!
Yay!
Yeah. Laugh track. Yeah.
I guess I haven't really watched Home Improvement.
I like that, but now, hey, despite not really watching it, you nailed a script though. Like that's actually word for word from an episode.
It's kind of like impossible for me to consider Tim Allen as a sexual being, even as a character. So
what about Richard Karn?
Richard Karn. Now that is a sexual animal.
Well, he also has a wife that doesn't want to fuck him on that show.
Really?
I
That's
think.
what.
Right?
I think so.
Aren't they both married?
How the fuck is that? What that show's about? I thought they just.
Well, the show's actually about the fact that they do a home improvement show.
Yeah, they have a home improvement TV show called Tool Time.
Oh my!
That's
Tool
insane.
Time
Okay,
with Tim Taylor.
Yep.
It sounds like if we were to take this to its logical conclusion, that Tim Allen and what's his name,
Richard Karn.
Richard Karn would just fuck each other.
They should.
So
let's do a woke
problem
reboot.
solved.
Yeah. Let's see if either one of them are willing to reprise their roles.
Unfortunately, Ray Romano, the only person he has in his life is Brad Garrett, who is, I think, his brother.
Yeah.
So that's a non-starter.
So the fucking Romano family moves in 1967, and this is when the tales of the hauntings really start to come around, and why I kind of wanted to get here, because this is when the place starts to get really marketed as a haunted house and as a place with this kind of dark history. And like there were rumors and stuff before this, and like I'm not saying that those things didn't exist, but the Romano family were the people that really tried to like that started to make this like a thing. They because this is an account from Mrs. Romano when they were first moving into the place. They were doing some restorations on the house because by this point it's 80 years old. And so she sent her children up to play in the attic. And a while later, the 4 children came back downstairs to ask for cookies. And they asked the mom for an extra cookie that they could give to the sad girl who was crying upstairs. And then Mrs. Romano was like, what do you mean? And so she went up with them, and she saw nobody, but the children insisted that they had been playing with other children up there the entire time, not just with the crying girl. So supposedly, like, they were effectively playing with the dead children of the original owners.
I'm going to be real. This shit will not abide. Little kids being like, what about the man with the hat?
Yeah.
And you're like, what man with the hat? He was at breakfast this morning, Mommy. Like, it's like, I'm immediately like, burn the whole house down.
Yeah,
like,
this is
cut
why I don't want to have kids.
Exactly.
Now, tell me if this part ranks above or below the children, because this is another one. At various points, organ music would supposedly fill the house. Although the Romanos did not, and the house at that time did not actually have an organ.
I would run screaming, shitting my pants into the street.
Yeah, they also, would hear footsteps. There would be like glasses moving and falling, ceiling lamps falling down. And at this point, the family did get the help of some paranormal investigators. And during one of these investigations, one of those investigators ran out of the house screaming, and then they brought in a priest to do an exorcism.
If I became aware that my house was haunted and I truly, I believed it, I couldn't live there anymore. Like,
it would be really hard, yeah.
I would have to leave. Whenever,
Sorry.
I would fuck my whole life up.
Yeah.
It's such a hard thing when you have, but if you own a house,
if you own
to have to leave it. But truly, this shit sends a chill down my spine. I don't even know if I believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I definitely do. You know what I mean? Sometimes when I'm home alone. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No, if I could imagine a scenario where I am 100% convinced of the existence of ghosts and one is haunting my house, I would not be able to handle it either. Also,
is it the Changeling where the house it fills with piano music?
Yeah, I think so. And
he turns down the record player, but the music keeps going. Is that that one
from up in the attic room? Yeah,
great movie.
Such a good movie.
I was gonna say the noises that kind of creep me out the most are the ones that are the most human-like. It's the idea of hearing crying or I think maybe worst of all would be if something was making a breathing sound. because then you're just thinking, because what the thing with ghosts is they're dead people, right? So if you hear breathing from a ghost, it's like a satire of life itself. It's
Oh, I was gonna say it's like stolen valor.
That too, I guess.
I just get mad, I just get indignant when a ghost breathes.
I had a friend when I was in high school who genuinely believed in ghosts, and one time she told me that she believed there was a ghost in the room with her, and that she was like laying in bed facing the wall, and all of a sudden right next to her ear she heard the ghost go and just like open its mouth. Like a wet mouth opening, really loudly, clearly, as if it was right next to her.
I don't like
and
to
then she turned around and there was nobody there, and I was like, "That's the scariest fucking thing I can imagine."
That's creepy.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, I like my brain immediately goes to like what sound through reverberance in the room she was in would make that happen.
Yeah.
I immediately go to trying to
rationalize
it. Yeah.
Probably
it sounds weird.
Everybody who listens to this probably knows that I had a time in my life where I believed in ghosts, and I've since abandoned that life. But people used to like fake the Ouija board and convince me that it was real and stuff. And so for years, I was just convinced that the house I was living in was haunted. I don't remember how much of that I've told on this show, but
I think a lot of it we've gone through.
The one that to this day like scares me, but definitely you could, if you sat and thought about it, could come up with a rational explanation, is being in the basement. All of this stuff tended to happen in the basement, which also I think had like old pipes. So who knows? But I remember being in the storage room, and there's like a crawl space area, and hearing what sounded like a knocking coming from that. And I bolted out of that room, or just like I would hear knocking outside my door at night and stuff. And so I was very convinced that it was a haunting, but it was probably just the house, to be honest.
Houses just make a lot of sounds.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
There's a lot of stuff in the guts of your house that you don't really can think about regularly that makes noises.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the priest then told them that there were evil spirits in this house that were too powerful for them to exorcise, and they should leave. So they sold the house in 1974, and that's the end of the time of the Romanos. And the next owners was a guy named Sam Muscatello. And this guy specifically bought the house because of all of the stuff going on with it. And he started to offer tours of the house. He invited people from the media to come in for walkthroughs. He did a live segment on a Cleveland radio where host John Webster brought in a tape recorder. And the tape recorder was supposedly pulled from his shoulder and thrown down the stairs. And then later there was even a television crew that came in, which witnessed a ceiling light that spun on its own. All of these things you start to get. This is when someone starts trying to make money off of it. Is Sam Muscatello?
Yeah, and if when a guy has a PR visit scheduled to the house, if some kind of phenomenon happens, that's legit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's no way he could have planned things like that.
Especially this is remember how I said earlier that there are bones found at some point. So during one of these walkthroughs, Sam Muscatello. So supposedly, if you listen to him, he says he started to search through the house looking for any sort of like hidden whatever. And he first discovered an old still that seemed to be left over from the Prohibition days, which I do believe that part is real. But then there was the shocking discovery was a hidden panel in the tower where inside there was a stacked pile of human bones. Now, the bones were human. We know that. They were somewhat old, but we don't know. There's no confirmation on when they were put there or anything like that. Like, there are quite a few people who think Muscatello planted the bones himself to find them and make a big story for television. But there's just no, I can't verify that fact at all.
You know? That's I can understand, why people might be suspicious that this guy planted the bones. But we also have to ask, how did he get human bones?
I mean, I don't know. Like, from a medical school, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
Like there are ways to. It's not something that I personally know the details of how to do.
Do I need to take you to like early 2000s Tumblr drama right now, Kyle? Do we need to get into this?
As I said, I realized this.
You
is
can
also,
ethically source human bones.
This
we
is
all
also
know
the
this.
era. This is the era. Well, they weren't doing that way on Tumblr, hence the controversy. But
I know that's what I'm saying. You absolutely can't. What are we talking about?
But it's this is also the era where you can like just get a new identity by like stealing dead kids' IDs and stuff. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard about that, but like that was a thing that you could do in the like 70s.
Oh, okay.
For fun.
So, yeah, for fun.
If you were having a weird day.
There is a, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. But anyways, my point is that there is a lot more you can get away with pre-internet, probably. So maybe they had a.
I mean, in the 70s, you also edit that out.
Wait, can you just
I
explain
was just gonna make way too dark of a joke.
Oh, what if it was good though?
In the 70s, you also could go to war with a man and he dies in your arms, and then you take his dog tags and you assume his identity when you go home.
Yeah.
And that's something you could do in the 70s.
And then
that is very
with
true.
the ad campaign for Coke.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess it isn't too dark because it literally is the backstory of a major TV character.
Yeah.
I always forget because I never watched Mad Men.
Yeah.
Leave all of that in.
Yep. So, yeah, so, like, and around the time of the Muscatello stuff is when a lot of the, like, extraneous killings of the house started to, quote-unquote, come to light. So that was when people started seeing a woman in black in the tower room. She's said to be the ghost of a woman named Rachel, which was a maid that denied Tiedeman's advances.
Was there ever a woman in the yard?
I think I wouldn't be surprised.
Was there a woman in the window?
There was a woman in the window.
So we have a woman in black, a woman in the window.
Yeah, we had, and the woman in black is the woman in the window. So does that work?
We can have a crossover.
Okay.
Was there a woman in trouble?
So supposedly Tiedemann made many women be in trouble because
sure.
We know
most
that there
of the
were
victims
20th
were-
century women.
yeah.
Were any of them little?
I
what
mean,
size are we
a couple of them
talking?
were children, so yeah,
We have little women.
we have little women.
I mean, we talked about going to the shore to die. Good old Beth.
Yeah.
Shouts out Beth.
We've talked
Gone
about
too
plenty
soon.
of kinds of women. What about like the 20th century schizoid man? Think about that.
I mean, maybe Tiedemann is the archetypical. We don't know.
That's a great point. Anyways, go ahead and talk about the thing you were going to talk about.
Yeah. So yeah, there's people just kept adding stuff. So there were supposedly there's rumors that say a doctor briefly lived in the house after Tiedemann, who experimented on babies. What those experiments were is never really expanded upon. It just is like somewhere between Tiedemann and the next owners, which we have like the full sale history of this house as far as I'm aware. So I don't believe this happened or has any real thing. But there are people who will say that a like malicious evil doctor who did sick experiments on children and babies lived in the house after Tiedemann. And like, I don't mean to come, like, I know that these are the quote-unquote fun parts of this, is, like, all the crazy stories that people have for this house, but I feel it's funny how much it all is just, like, really grafted onto this. Like, the reality of this is a guy got really wealthy, built a house, and a bunch of his family members then died in a series of tragic occurrences, mostly of illnesses, and then people just were like, but what if he, like, actually was like, Cleveland's greatest monster?
Well, it's a haunted house now, so you naturally have to have people like folkloric sort of spread of the monstrous goings-ons at the haunted house that everybody avoids,
Yeah. So in 1982, this building was then added as a historical landmark on the National Register of Historic Places. So it now is like has historic significance legally. But then in 1985, it was bought by Judy Garland's last husband, Michael DeVinco, aka Mickey Deans.
The DeVinco twins? Of the DeVinco twins?
Yeah, of the DeVinco twins. And at this point, it was like turned into a maximalist Hollywood party house, and they would just like have fucking wild ass parties in it. And then the history after that is mostly it succumbing to fire multiple times. It literally in 1999, it was sold to Michelle Heimberger, who was using the money from her Yahoo stocks. That she was an early Yahoo employee, so when they blew up, her money like exploded, and she bought this house. And
How'd
did a bunch
she
of
buy
renovations.
it if her money exploded?
Yeah. I mean, look, the money exploding is what made the house light on fire. So.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. But this is something that I cannot verify. Supposedly, when the fire department showed up while this place was on fire, a man who had seemingly just wandered onto the scene from the streets, supposedly it was an arsonist that set this whole place on fire, and they asked him why he did it, and he said, "I've had to burn down the castle because it is pure evil." That is not a thing that I found verified places, but it's a part of the lore of this place, so I figured it was worth mentioning.
I'm gonna need you to say pure evil correctly.
Pure evil.
Pure evil. He had the blackest
Michael.
eyes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The devil's eyes. Death has come to your little town, sheriff.
Yeah.
And it's a house.
So after this, like it kind of bounced around a little bit, but it literally, there was a second fire. Like it now is just like an architectural place. Like you can go there, you can do tours. It's just kept up as a place you can visit.
Haunted tours?
But that's because it has plenty of haunted. You can
Nice.
spend the night there and shit, like to see hauntings and stuff. So next time you're in Cleveland, check it out. It now has like a museum.
Do any of these fuckers ever?
Jack off? Yeah.
Do any of these fuckers ever burst out of the ceiling and just do a huge cum shot? I'm not trying to ruin anybody's day.
I'm not trying to make anybody have the worst day at their job.
The worst day. Yeah.
So I want to go back to just like talking about this guy a little bit, because I found some quotes from a historian who did a bunch of investigation on the house and the history of the house. His name's William Crecci, who's an author that wrote the book. He literally wrote the book on it called Haunted Franklin Castle. And he did the research, and he says this: "They were very kind people. Mr. Tiedemann was a benefactor of the community. Hans Tiedemann was a generous man. He gave often to various charities. He was not the monster that had been made out in all these stories about the castle. There's just no truth for that. All this makes for a fantastic ghost story, and who doesn't love a good ghost story? There's just one problem. Hardly any of it is true." Now,
sorry, you said monster made out, and I got so hard I blacked out.
Look, it happens to the best of us, especially this close to Halloween. You got in all that mood, and it just, monster fuckers are out in force,
Kyle's getting ready to watch Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dropping on Netflix tomorrow, so we're gonna have to check that out.
If Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi don't fuck, then what was the point?
You know how
I know nothing about the movie.
I know, I barely do either, but
clear.
luckily you don't need to know that for this. You know how on stage productions of Frankenstein, a lot of times the guy who will play the doctor and the one who will play the monster will like swap nights? Now, what if in a movie the actors swapped when the monster and the doctor fucked? So then for the rest of the movie, they've just flipped.
I love how you said when they fuck, like that's a major plot point of Frankenstein.
That's a guarantee in this Frankenstein.
In the scene where they make love.
The very famous Mary Shelley Frankenstein love scene where they make love.
That's right.
It's in there, guys. If you check the original, but now you have to get the full original uncensored text, because a lot of editions are too afraid of that section to put it in.
Yep.
Anyway, so Crecci actually has spent time in this house, and he's heard However, he doesn't believe that Tiedemann has anything to do with it, but he does say that when he was there, he did hear various footsteps, voices, or radio turning on, and stuff like that. So he thinks this place has some weird stuff that you hear when you go there, and like that it might be haunted to some degree. He says,
I mean, a bunch of people did die there, whether they were murdered or not.
Yeah, but he says it's kind of cool actually, which I think is a fun take on sometimes you just get a radio turning on for no reason, or hear footsteps, and it's just a bonus for the house, you know.
You know what should be happening right now is houses that had people who died in them in the 2000s or so, who listened to a lot of like shock jock DJ shit, and that's just what's blaring out of the radio when it's haunted.
Yeah, I think you should really be hit with like. Look, I know there are other shock jocks, and this was a thing that that happened, I think, on like his Sirius M or whatever, Rex M show or whatever. But like, I always immediately go to someone writing a Sibian when you say shock jock. It just is like the immediate pull, and so I'm just imagining like a radio turning on in the other room, and
yeah, you got this house that's haunted. They've got audio of like Hillary Clinton riding the Sibian or whatever.
Oh my God!
Or they've got Bob and Tom, and you like from another room you hear like a "yeah toast" faintly. That was them. Right?
I'm abstaining from this part of the podcast. I'll come back when you guys are better behaved.
Surely you could come up with a good riff on that one.
Julia, come on. We know you. This is your wheelhouse. Get in here.
Yeah. So I figure let's to get this thing back on the rails.
It's going to be podcasters in the future. It's going to be podcasts.
That's what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say like the Joe Rogan Experience or something.
Yeah.
We try to utter that name as little as possible.
Yeah, should I have even evoked it? I should have hinted it.
It's going to be a house haunted with the sounds of Joe Rogan asking that lady to bring up like images of like a chimp like disemboweling a guy or whatever. Like that's what you're going to... Fuck.
Whatever they do over there.
Yeah, whatever he's into.
It's something with chimps and like bring up that image. I know he says that a lot.
Yeah. Can you check into that? Can you look into that? Yeah. I want to just kind of go through real quick. I have a breakdown of the types of hauntings and where they appear in the house. So if you want, if anyone's interested in going to this place, I've got a handy chart here. So if you want to hear disembodied voices, you'll get those kind of throughout the house, but particularly near staircases. Shadowy figures are often seen in hallways, in the reading room, or in the turret. You'll find
turret's a perfect place for a shadowy figure.
It really is. Like honestly, I think my favorite is a shadowy figure coming down a staircase.
Love a shadowy figure on a staircase.
Oh, yeah. If that's not possible, I will definitely take a turret or attic room.
Standing in a window from outside.
Yep.
It is funny that these are all the perfect places for these types of apparitions. Like, of course. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to go see, an apparition, a shadowy presence? You're going to want to check out the reading room. Oh, I should have just intuited that.
Silly me.
And here's the thing: if you get a twofer in the turret room or in the tower room, because that's also where you mostly hear crying sounds. So you get shadowy figures crying. Go check out the tower. So, cold spots you'll find in the two daughters' rooms, Emma and Louise. Emma is the one who died of diabetes. Louise is one of the 3 unknown-caused children, as far as I'm aware. If you want objects moving, you got to go check out the kitchen and the parlor. And if you want a full-blown apparition, that's most likely going to be Emma, and you'll find that in Emma's room.
We've definitely had haunted encounters and things like that on the show where people are like, oh, typically this is seen here and this, but I've never realized, like, I've never heard it laid out in a way where it kind of almost felt like they were just like, here's the menu at this haunted house.
Yeah, what do you want?
What would you like?
It kind of demystifies it in a way that I find fun, where it's just like you it's like choose your own adventure. What do you want to see? Well, let's you tell me what you want to see. I'll tell you where to go. And I if I get a map of the place, we can then kind of mark it all out.
I'm thinking crying shadowy figure in the turret. Very good, sir.
Mm-hmm. Right this way. And they'll have someone take your bags. Now, I also found, this isn't something I'm going to go deeply into, but it's just something that I like when I find these things. This is like the second time I found something like this. There's a paranormal investigator named Tom R. Halfhill, which you can find at halfhill.com. He did an investigation in 1980 and then in like 2009 or something like that. And there are some ghost photos that were taken that he was kind of going in to check. And he was able to, using like camera photography, like he has studied ghost photos well enough to know how some of them occur. He was able to like duplicate certain ghost photos just naturally with his camera. And so like mostly stuff where it's like orbs and weird reflections and artifacts and stuff and mirrors. And so I really like when I find these things, because a lot of people will be really swayed by ghost photos, and seeing someone who understands how those things happen break it down is really interesting to me. So I just wanted to say this exists. If you look up halfhill.com/Franklin, that's the link for it, and it's worth looking at if you like ghost photography and the mechanics of it.
That is very cool. I will also add that Half Hill is a hobbit's name. That's a hobbit ass name.
Yeah. Hey, you're not wrong. Yeah. I think that honestly, like, that wraps up what I wanted to talk about here. That's most of the interesting stuff. About now, there were actually here's the last little bit. I like to just point these things out. If you want to see one of your favorite Discovery Channel type ghost shows talking about it, here's the three that this house has appeared on. In 2016, it appeared on an episode of Paranormal Lockdown, in the third episode of its first season. In 2020, it appeared on the second episode of season 23 of Ghost Adventures. And in 2020, it appeared on season 2 of the Holzer Files on the Travel Channel. So those are the three places to look if you want to see an episode about this on, choose your favorite of those shows.
Holzer Files?
I don't know that one either. So that one's new for me. It's the only one. Now, here's how you can tell it wasn't the most successful of the shows. It's the only one that doesn't have a blue link on Wikipedia on the show name.
Okay, yeah.
So it must not have been particularly notable enough to merit its own Wikipedia entry. So, so Travel Channel hung out there in 2020 and shot 2 shows.
How would you know what it looks like on Wikipedia when you used a big book at the library?
Well, this was a big book that actually was a printout of Wikipedia.
They printed Wikipedia.
They doctored it up to look to be an ancient tome.
They kept all the hyperlinks.
That's nice. That's good.
Yeah, they did the thing where they coffee stained the pages and stuff, and like kind of burned the edges.
They left in all the citation needed and stuff. Yeah.
And like the plea for donations at the top.
Yes, that's at the top of every page. Yeah.
I bet you're wondering why you're seeing this ad right now.
Exactly, yeah.
I am. I'm reading a book. One of the last bastions of ad-free life.
Oh, God.
I bet that's what you're saying.
It is. It was... Much like the episode of Full House that you'd never seen. Not Full House. Home Improvement that you'd never seen. You also knew exactly a thing I had said without knowing it. So.
Yeah.
Look, that sentence got away from me, but you get what the fuck I meant. Do you want to do a big question?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so this house has a very storied history. There's a lot of we went through we took the eras tour through the Franklin Castle.
4 stories.
And so I want to ask you, out of those eras, what era of this house would you want to most see as a major Hollywood motion picture?
Oh.
Yeah.
Easy.
I think I know,
Easy.
but I'll let Jules go
I can
first.
list them here if you want. I gave a rundown of the eras for if I know how much you love a mid-episode recap of something that just happened.
I do.
So do you want the Nazi occupation?
That was some real inside baseball.
That was just for you and me.
Go on.
The German immigrant tragedy / curse, the German immigrant murder house, the sensationalized ghost house, the late in life Hollywood star party house, the .com bubble investment struck by arson. Those are the main eras of this place.
I mean, I'm a bitch for the 1970s.
Yeah, you want the guy trying to sensationalize the haunted house.
Less than even caring about that, I care about everyone wearing bell bottoms.
Ah, yes.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I love a 70s period piece thing.
Yeah, you love.
I love a movie set in the 70s where all the men have to have big mustaches, and everyone is driving.
You want to know what sucks? A big disservice to that whole thing is that the movie The Amityville Horror sucks. That movie.
But you know what the worst thing about Amityville? You're talking about the
original.
Ryan, the original one's boring.
Yeah, the original one sucks.
I was gonna say the crime of the Ryan Reynolds one is that it doesn't look more like it's in the 70s.
Yes, that is.
That movie would have been 10% better if it was styled better.
Mm-hmm.
But the original one is kind of boring. But I mean, actually, that's a perfect example of like, it's a metaphor for our terrible marriage.
Yeah. I just like that one is like out of the horror pantheon classics. That is the one I will never understand the love for. And the reason I brought it up is because it was literally referenced at like the Franklin Castle was referenced as like multiple places brought up the Amityville horror to talk about kind of the haunting of it and everything, and like the basically saying Tiedemann was like a proto Amityville horror guy. But anyway, I wish that movie was better.
I have not seen any of the Amityville horror movies, and I think partly because you told me a very long time ago that it wasn't good.
Yeah, I don't think you would like them, Kyle.
No.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
One good scene.
Go
Kyle,
ahead.
what do you want to do?
So I was a little torn. The .com
lying
bubble,
on the bathroom floor?
Mm-hmm. Lying naked on the floor.
lying naked on the
Oh,
floor.
bathroom floor is Shaggy.
Yeah.
You asked me what I thought, not how I feel.
A remix
A remix
mashup
of Natalie Imbruglia.
of Torn and Wasn't Me. Let's do it. Let's go. If somebody listening makes that and sends it in, we'll play it
awesome.
on the podcast.
Yeah. Can we legally do that? Yeah, I guess we can. It's transformative. Yeah, it's transformative. Right? That's
You just
the
have
rule.
to talk over it the whole time.
Yeah. We could play like 30 seconds of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that, interestingly, will be the score for the movie that I choose.
Okay.
So I was torn between the .com bubble thing because one of my favorite ghost movies is Pulse, the Japanese ghost horror movie about ghosts from the internet. So
not
there's
the American
an angle,
remake?
No, not the American remake. There is, I think, an angle there, but the problem is, like, I feel like when we've done that kind of a story, especially in that era, it hasn't worked out from an American film perspective as much. But that movie is incredible. I also kind of want to see the Nazi thing.
See, here's the thing. You go ahead because I'll take that one, and you
Okay,
finish yours, and I'll.
Here's the thing. I'm picturing, like, think Green Room, but you're with the people who are like Nazi spies or whatever in the United States, and they're doing all the Nazi shit that they do together in a like, first of all, that's like an insane idea already to me of like Nazis were just hanging out in Cleveland, Ohio, in a secret haunted castle. But here's what's important, I think, for mine, is it plays out as like a thriller drama thing for a while, but it does have to eventually turn into a supernatural horror where the Nazis are beset upon by vengeful ghosts. That is an important element to me. It turns from the Nazi thing into the Nazis have to deal with actual paranormal events.
Yeah. I like the idea of I also love I do think kind of superimposing a couple of these things is fun because like the fact that the Nazi battle in the basement, supposedly people have like heard it in years since, it would be really interesting to like have the .com bubble thing go down into the basement and just have like a fucking firefight going on down there.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I love the idea. I know this is a topic I've covered once before with Jules, but I love the idea of time slips. Where you're just like you're going around about your day and all of a sudden you're in a whole other time period. That stuff is, which I guess is like, were time slips proto isekai? Anyway,
the thing is, isekai takes you to another place, not another time, typically.
Oh, there aren't any. They're just like time travel.
I don't. Maybe there are. Yeah. I don't
Anyway.
really watch that subgenre.
I don't either. So I don't really know why I even made the poll. But anyway. I like the idea of maybe it's more of a Notebook situation where it's,
is that what happens in the Notebook?
No,
The Lake House.
Lake House. Oh. God damn it!
I haven't seen that one.
One day I'll make enough polls that one of them will be correct.
I'm excited.
I know that day will be such a great day for me.
It's gonna be
We're gonna celebrate.
huge.
We'll buy a cookie cake.
Yeah.
That's getting a poll right and bad people's deaths are what cookie cakes are for. So I think I would lean towards the kind of German singing house / prohibition thing. Like I like speakeasies in movies.
Yeah, prohibition's a great angle.
Yeah, and like the idea of this place that's like outwardly just like a social club, and it then they're fucking they have a tunnel to Lake Erie. Like I love that kind of shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that one.
That is cool. That is a good setup.
Plus, then the ghosts can be like it's actually what's the there's that women's organization that has the famous picture where they're holding a big sign that says, if any man's whose lips touch liquor will never touch ours. Like they're gonna be like doing ghost pranks on them in this era. Like I think that's kind of the vibe. It'll be like the supernatural element will be kind of Scooby-Dooed in my version. So it's kind of people doing it to them to try to like shut down this secret distillery.
Okay. I like that. Taking the history of a haunting and using it to stop the illegal operation. I can get behind that. Did you guys get a Dick Cheney cookie cake?
No,
we seriously considered it.
It definitely did come up. We just haven't. I haven't been to the store since.
He wasn't on the predetermined list.
No.
There are a few people that we have already discussed, and one we've done now.
Literally, this is the thing that has happened. I'm just gonna fuck it.
Was it
when Hulk Hogan died? We bought a cookie cake.
Yeah, he was one of the first ones that
he literally invented the rule.
He is the origin of the bit, because this isn't even our bit. We stole that bit.
Yeah.
From Justin McElroy.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
it's Justin McElroy and Dwight Slappy's bit.
I forgot that we stole the bit.
Yeah, but so we said I will 100% do that, but they said when Hulk Hogan dies, that was the guy, and I was like, yeah, me too. And then we added a couple other people. I won't list everybody, but there's a predetermined list, and Dick Cheney didn't happen to be on it. I think we might need to expand the list, though.
We could probably add to it.
I thought you were gonna say Kissinger.
Yeah, that's
the thing is, like, the bit came about to us when we were very deep into getting into wrestling as a whole thing.
Sure, yeah.
And so the list right now is a little too wrestling focused.
It is mostly wrestling names. That's why I think it needs to be expanded.
Yeah.
There's one guy that I was just discussing with my mom that we agreed
Donald
to be a
Trump,
cookie
the
cake
president?
guy. I mean,
I'm not. Look.
What? Who said that?
Podcast.
Who
no
said
idea.
that?
I mean, look, it's if any feds listening to this were celebrating that
his life,
as
celebration
an
of life.
celebration of life. It's an ironic. It's like a joke.
It's like a joke on a. This is tagged comedy.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you can't.
Said it before, and I'll say it again.
There's no actionable anything, since the hashtag for this podcast is comedy. To be clear,
It's true.
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you end a podcast. No, I honestly, I think that is kind of the end of what I have here. So, do you want to take care of some business?
yeah, sure.
All right. So, if you want to follow us on social media, we're on Twitter at IGW Podcast.
We're on Facebook.com/ItGetsWeirdPodcast.
And we're on all your favorite podcatchers. So, if you listen to podcasts somewhere, look up It Gets Weird, and we're almost certainly there.
We're on Blue Sky at It Gets Weird. Check it out. That's Blue Sky is the platform, the preferred platform. So give it a shot. Check it out. It's better than Twitter. Check out twitch.tv/itgetsweird as well, where I'm going to be doing some streaming very soon. That's the plan. But historically, I've streamed in the past. There's some funny clips on there. It's a good time. Twitch.tv/itgetsweird. Check that one out. Email us, itgetsweirdpodcast@gmail.com, if you've got a story about a haunting or a UFO or anything else cool. A cryptid, a conspiracy.
A story about Tim Allen.
Mm-hmm.
A Tim Allen story.
Have you been haunted by Tim Allen?
Of Torn and Shaggy?
Yeah.
Specifically of Torn and Wasn't Me.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the name for that song? It wasn't torn.
It wasn't torn.
It wasn't torn. So go ahead and send that our way when it gets done. itgetsweirdpodcast@gmail.com. Just let us know how we should address you, and we might read it out on the show. Or if it is the remix of Torn by Natalie Imbruglia and It Wasn't Me by Shaggy, we'll play that on the show. So send it our way. But the real way to support us, the best way you can support us, is patreon.com/itgetsweirdpodcast. We have a $1 tier. That's the tip tier. You're saying, hey, thanks for doing what you do. Here's $1. But if you want content, there's a $2 tier and a $5 tier. At the $2 tier, you have It Gets Weird TV, where Niall and I are right now talking about X-Files Season 3. It's a blast. People get to vote on what TV shows we watch if they are a donor to our Patreon. So it's a great time. Having a lot of fun with that. But if you want the most bang for your buck, you're going to want to hit up that $5 tier. And I would just like to point out, $5 is like nothing.
You can't even get a footlong for that these days.
You can't even get these days. They're charging
and they will
more.
laugh at you if you try.
You go in there and you say,
in court documents, they're like, it was never meant to be a literal thing. That was the name of the sub.
Yeah,
this is real. And so Subway thinks you're a fool.
Yeah, but we don't. And we're going to give you so much more than Subway could ever possibly give you at our $5 tier. We have another bonus show called World of Weird, where Niall and I talk about whatever the hell we want. I think Jules has been on twice, 2 or 3
Something
times.
Like that.
Something like that.
Along with random pop-ins. Sometimes she hears me talking through the door and just has something to say.
I just have to chime in.
I'll give people a little tease. Usually it's because I voiced an opinion about a movie that Niall then echoed back and Jules heard, and Jules has to come in and set the record straight.
I'm like, I gotta get in on this.
So
there's no fucking way.
So $5 tier, you're going to get all of the bonus content on our Patreon, and it's a huge backlog of stuff. Whether you donate to the $2 tier or the $5 tier, you get access to the main show 2 days early on Friday instead of Sunday, and you get access to the Discord where we're hanging out, chatting with our listeners, just like you're listening right now. You could be chatting with us about UFOs, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, anything you fucking want within reason on the Discord on our Patreon. So please check it out. It's the best way to support us. Obviously, we don't advertise, so we're not making any money in that department. The show is held together by all you people donating to us and telling people about our show. So if you can't donate, that does lead me to my next point. If you can't donate, if money's tough, we understand. Please tell your friends, tell your family, tell people who you think might enjoy the show to give us a listen. Because that's how we actually advertise ourselves. It's all grassroots, baby. Mm-hmm. So please tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your congressman all about It Gets Weird podcast.
Jules, do you have anything to plug?
Can I plug a charity?
Sure.
Yes.
I'd like to plug a charity. Go to letterscharity.org and donate if you can. It's a really good charity.
What was it?
Around this time of year, they basically answer letters to Santa.
Oh.
So they buy things for families so that poor families can have stuff on Christmas for the kids and for the parents and just stuff they need. But they also just give cash to people who need money.
That's
and
awesome.
I think that is like the best thing that you can do.
Yeah.
And their whole thing is that the solution to poverty is money. And I think it's a great charity. And all of the money goes to the people if you donate. So go to letterscharity.org and check it out.
Hell yeah.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, it's coming up quick,
in
huh?
that run. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you for continuing to support the show. This has been It Gets Weird, and I've been Niall.
And I'm Kyle, signing out.
I'm Jules.
Peace.